Happy New Year! Right lads, welcome back to another video, and it's the first video of 2021. The first video of a new year, of course. Happy New Year to you all. Obviously 2020 was a bit of a shambles. Hopefully we can all have a better year coming up ahead with normality coming back into our lives on a regular basis in the near future. Fingers crossed. We do have normality in the form of football this weekend, however, and it is indeed Derby weekend. There is a lot of fixtures coming up, and they're exciting. There is exciting ones coming up on the fixture card within Scottish football, so let's delve into them. I'll go through my predictions, my thoughts, etc, on all the derbies up and down the SPFL this weekend. I think it's best to start in Scottish League 2 because I don't think there is many actual derbies in Scottish League 2 this year. And I think the closest one, just because it's a wee bit kind of local to each other, is Stranraer. Aye, Stranraer versus Annan Athletic. And I've literally only chosen this because of the geographical location of the two teams. I don't actually think this is a derby in any way, shape or form. However, it's the closest one I could find in Scottish League 2. I wanted to include it in some way. So there you go, Stranraer versus Annan Athletic. Stranraer have been very good this season, been on good form. Players like Darryl Duffy, Rory Payton, etc. Scoring goals, Thomas Orr coming from BSC Glasgow, good wee player him, scores goals. And Stranraer are the team in form coming into this game. Annan are a wee bit floundering, maybe 4 or 5 points behind Stranraer in the league table as it stands. Stranraer in the promotion playoffs, so I do expect Stranraer to actually come out on top in this one. They're at home to Annan, and I think they'll start 2021 off with another 3 points in the bag and keeping themselves in the promotion playoff conversation. Therefore, I will go with a 2-0 Stranraer win. Next up, we're into Scottish League 1, and we'll start off with one of the Angus derbies, one of the many that exist within Scottish football, but this one is Montrose versus Forfar. Now, it's a big one, obviously. There are ones that are synonymous with lower league football, and they're always fantastic kind of spectacles for goals, etc. I believe one of the last derbies at Forfar's ground, which must have included Montrose as well, was a bit of a goal fest, so I'm expecting that to come in this game as well. But I do expect Montrose to come out on top just because they are the better team. Forfar have not been playing well at all this season. They're down the bottom end of the league and they don't seem to be picking up any sort of form on a consistent basis. Montrose, on the other hand, are currently in the promotion playoffs, I believe second or third, so they're on fine form, and I expect Stuart Petrie's men to come out on top in another Angus derby here, and I'm going to go for 3-1 Montrose. And the second and final derby within Scottish League 1 that I'm going to cover in this video is Partick Thistle versus Clyde. Oh look, another one that's going to have a pitch inspection. Partick have been a weird one. They've been struggling a wee bit this season, struggling more than you would think. They've picked up a wee bit of form since the start of the season where they kind of floundered a bit, but they've certainly fallen way behind Falkirk, who they would have been hoping to challenge all the way to the end this season for the League 1 title. I do expect Falkirk to now go on and win the title, and that's been massively down to Partick's kind of inconsistent form, you'd have to say. Clyde, on the other hand, been struggling a wee bit down the bottom end. You wouldn't really expect that considering some of the players they have. They re-signed Tom Lang, for example. They've kept the likes of Ali Love and David Goodwillie on the books. Their main loss was Ray Grant in the summer, who obviously moved on to Alloa Athletic, but I didn't think that would be too much of a miss for them to see themselves right down the kind of bottom end of League 1. But despite Clyde winning the last game between these two sides, I think it was 1-0 at Clyde's ground, Broadwood, I think Partick should come out on top in this occasion. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Partick Thistle win. Now moving up a rung into the Championship. And I mean, the obvious one to talk about is Dunfermline versus Raith Rovers, the Fife derby. And unfortunately, it could get called off. The pitch at East End Park seems to have hit kind of frozen temperatures, and due to the temperatures not really going to be rising in the next 12 hours-ish before the pitch inspection happens at around 9 AM on Saturday morning. Probably for some of you, as you're watching this, the game might have already been called off, but for me, it's the night before, and I was obviously tremendously looking forward to this game of football. It's the one that you really look forward to in the calendar when it's in the league fixtures, and ultimately it looks like it's going to fulfil to the Scottish weather once again. So I'm gutted that that's the case. We're going to miss out on a weekend of football and a fantastic game, because both teams have been pretty good this season, despite Raith Rovers having, I think, 2 blotches on their record where they've lost games away to Inverness and then midweek at home to Queen of the South, which was a bit of a shocker. Dunfermline, on the other hand, only 1 loss at home to Morton. Aside from that, a few draws where they've come back from defeat against Raith Rovers as well at the start of December. And aside from that, good wins against the likes of Hearts, getting to a cup semi-final against St Johnstone and losing on penalties. So we've had a good season so far, and it's a shame that it looks like it's going to get called off. If it doesn't get called off, which looks extremely unlikely, but if it doesn't, I'm going to go for a Dunfermline win. I'm hoping we can keep onto a clean sheet, but I just think that we've conceded quite a lot this season anyway. Just in general games, we've won a lot, but we've conceded in a lot of occasions as well. So if it does go ahead, I'll go for a 2-1 Dunfermline win, but I don't expect it to go ahead, and we'll see the Fife Derby at East End Park happen in the near future. Now, I know this officially isn't a derby, so I'm not going to cover it too much, but you do have Dundee versus Hearts, which has become a bit of a rivalry more than a derby. I'm going to include it just because of that stature of game that it is, and the history between the clubs, the recent history obviously due to last season and how that all ended. So Dundee versus Hearts, I've given it a prediction on a couple of people's channels and stuff. I'm going to say 3-2 to Hearts. I believe Dundee will bridge the gap closer since the last game, obviously the first game of the season where Hearts won 6-2 at Tynecastle. I think Dundee will pull it closer, but I still think Hearts are going to win the league at a canter, and they'll be too good on the day. So 3-2 Hearts for me. We then have Hamilton versus Motherwell, a very important fixture for both sides here. They're both down the bottom end of the table. I don't expect this one to have any soft touches within it. I think both teams will really be needing the points here, and I don't see any team wanting to lose this game. I think it'll be a game where we need to see a goal, and Motherwell on terrible form, Hamilton on slightly better form, although it's not much better anyway. I think there has to be a winner here, and on current form, you'd have to say it was Hamilton, but obviously Motherwell, Stephen Robinson resigned from Motherwell in midweek there. Will they get a new bounce? You know, obviously Keith Lasley coming in as an interim manager. Will he get that bounce to the players? I think it'd be a bit shameful for the players if they do give Keith Lasley that, and they weren't going to give Robinson that, considering the stature of manager Robinson was. However, I think Hamilton might win this one. They've done it in previous times. I reckon they'll get the win here. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Hamilton win. As you can see, I've just turned off my studio light and the background is still a wee bit on, but I did forget one fixture. And as you can see, I'm very red. I'm going to include this in a wee bit where it fits nicely into the context of the video, but I did miss this one out. Studio light back on. The New Firm Derby, Aberdeen versus Dundee United. Imagine including Stranraer versus Annan Athletic and not the New Firm Derby. This is a tough one because Aberdeen are the better team this season. Better form, better, results overall, more points on the board, etc, etc. But Dundee United have performed pretty well for a newly promoted side. I'm going to go for let's go for a draw. I've gone for wins in every other fixture either way, so I'm going to go for a draw on this one. Sit on the fence, get a really sore arse. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. A Desmond. And finally, Rangers versus Celtic at Ibrox. The big one, the one that I think will define the league season if Rangers do go on to win the game. If Celtic cannot pick up 3 points here, I think the league title is Rangers and Rangers own to lose. I'm going to go for a Rangers win just because I do think Rangers have been overall the better team this season. I still think they've got the more on-form squad despite Celtic's recent pick-up in form. It's one of those ones that Celtic have to win it to have a chance, and I think the pressure is just too much. I still think Rangers are playing fantastic football. I don't see them dropping form anytime soon, and I think it will be a tight game, but still a Rangers win. 2-1 to Rangers. If I've missed any derbies out, let me know in the comments below and let me know your predictions for all the ones that I've gone over anyway. But that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below, as I said, predictions for all the games, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.